Well, thank you. And it's a pleasure to be here with you today on behalf of the American Society of Civil Engineers. ASCE is our nation's oldest engineering organization. We were founded in 1852. We have 145,000 members across the country and around the world. And we're here today to discuss with you the state of our nation's infrastructure and what it means for you and your region. Now, since the moment you woke up this morning, you've benefited from a reliable or unreliable infrastructure system. And Energy Grid ensured that your alarm clock went off, your iPhone was charged, you could turn on a light, and the coffee's brewing. Drinking water pipes carried clean water to your home while you made that coffee and brushed your teeth. And Greenville's network of roads and bridges ensured you arrived here safely and hopefully without much traffic. And these are only a few examples of the way we use infrastructure every day without even thinking about it. And of course, most of us don't even notice infrastructure until it stops working. And then we notice it. And then we fix it. And then we forget about it again. When a bridge is closed, causing us to be late for work, when the power in your neighborhood goes out, or when a water main breaks, which by the way happens every 2 minutes in this country, it's more than just an inconvenience. It's a drag on our economy, having rippling effects in Greenville, South Carolina, and the nation. In the 2013 report card for America's infrastructure, which we have copies outside, the American Society of Civil Engineers gave our nation's infrastructure a grade of D+, based on data reflecting current conditions and funding levels. And folks, that's not acceptable if we want to maintain our quality of life and compete in a global economy. When our roads prevent trucks from getting from point A to point B to deliver goods, we suffer. When blackouts turn off the lights of businesses, we suffer. And when ports can't keep pace with the new realities of international commerce, we suffer. It hurts our gross domestic product, our ability to create jobs, personal incomes, and our competitiveness with other nations. It also hurts our quality of life every day. Consider this. More than 40% of our urban highways are congested. That means Americans waste 2 billion gallons of gas every year idling in traffic. And at today's gas prices, it's still $5 to $6 billion wasted. It also means that people sat in traffic for 34 hours a year, nearly one work week. Or that could equate to missing your child's entire soccer season 5 times. Maybe some of you like that. It means, though, indirectly, we're spending this money and we're getting nothing for it. Then there's the condition of our roads, which received a D nationally in our report card. It's up slightly from our 2009 report card. Currently, 32% of America's major roads are in poor or mediocre condition, costing U.S. motorists that are traveling on those deficient pavements $67 billion a year. In South Carolina, these poor road conditions are costing every driver more than $300 a year in additional repairs and operating costs. Again, you pay this money, you get nothing for it. Since the first report card was issued in the late 1990s, the grades have been near failing, averaging only a grade of D due to delayed maintenance and underinvestment across most sectors. In fact, we estimate that across all categories of infrastructure, the total investment needed by 2020 is about $3.6 trillion. Now, you might be thinking, well, I paid my water bill, and I paid my electric bill, and doesn't the price for gas include some tax that's supposed to go through roads? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes, it does. But unfortunately, the amount of revenue raised from those sources between now and 2020 is only $2 trillion. That leaves us short of about $1.6 trillion to bring our infrastructure into a good condition, or in our terms, to receive a grade B. that's just a little over $200 billion per year. Now, you also might have a couple of thoughts in your head. First is, I don't want to pay anymore. Infrastructure, I pay enough, and that ought to cover it. Or your second thought might be, so what? So what? So what if we fail to make the investment in our aging and unreliable infrastructure? Well, here's the so what. Our analysis shows that if we fail to make these investments, it will increase costs to households by $611 billion. And in worse yet, it will increase costs to businesses by $1.2 trillion. What does it mean for you and me? Well, it means deficient, just in the road category, deficient roads, bridges, and transit alone will cost the average American family just a little under $1,100 a year in personal disposable income by 2020. The bottom line of all these numbers, investing in our infrastructure is essential if we're going to ensure a strong economy. But the news isn't all bad. The nation is making some strides towards modernizing our infrastructure in some sectors. In 6 different categories where investments were made and innovations were pursued, there was improvement from our last report card. There was improvement in roads, bridges, rail, as well as solid waste, drinking water, and wastewater. They all received a slightly higher grade in our 2013 report card. But what it demonstrates is that when agencies work together in innovative ways to prioritize and implement projects, we see results. Now, we're also seeing in one sector, the transit sector, record ridership, and in some unlikely places. The demand for transit, ranging from bus to rail, has moved beyond New York City, which we think of, or even my own hometown of Portland, Oregon, known for its bikes, light rail, and exclusive transit corridor in the downtown area. It's moved to areas like Richmond, Virginia, Cleveland, Ohio. Both of these cities have embraced bus transit as a way to move people efficiently through key corridors. BRT, as it's known to transportation folks, combines the performance and the speed and the reliability of rail with the flexibility of low-cost buses. These buses operate on their own dedicated lanes right away. They avoid congestion, and sometimes they even have priority at red lights. In Cleveland, they call it their Health Line, was completed in 2008, and it has generated almost $6 billion in development, which is about $114 for every transit dollar that was invested. Richmond is in the planning stages of their new line, expected to run 65% faster than current buses thanks to exclusive lanes in the downtown corridor. Richmond benefited from some federal grant dollars, and it's expected to be completed by 2017. Now, this is just one promising trend. To continue this trend, ASCE has developed what we call our three key solutions. First, we need to increase leadership renewal at all levels of government, the local, state, and the federal level. America's infrastructure needs bold leadership and a compelling vision that says infrastructure is important to the people of America. And the only way that's going to happen, the only way, is if you, each and every one of you in this room, tells your elected leaders that infrastructure is important. They need to hear from you. And what does bold leadership look like? Well, one of the bold leaders is Congressman Earl Blumenauer, a Democrat from Oregon, who has introduced House Resolution 680. Now, if you're not aware, the Federal Highway Trust Fund will be broke by this September. This is funding for roads, bridges, and transit. Now, Congressman Blumenauer's bill would increase the federal gas tax, which, by the way, has not been increased since 1993, so I guess it's a little bit after when you've increased. But try living on your wages in either 1993 or, in your case, 1938. Hasn't been increased. His bill would increase the federal gas tax by 5 cents per gallon per year for 3 years, and then indexed for inflation after that. So you might ask, well, what's that going to cost? 5 cents a gallon? You can't afford that. Well, folks, here's what 5 cents a gallon will look like for each aisle. $8 a month. 5, 6, 7, $8. $8 a month. 2 foo-foo Starbucks coffee a month. That's what it would cost to make our transportation system. And let's compare that $8 to the other numbers I gave you. The loss of nearly $1,100 a month in disposable income if we fail, or excuse me, per year, if we fail to make that investment. It's clear this return on investment is a pretty good deal. Secondly, we need to promote sustainability and resilience in our infrastructure. As infrastructure is built or rebuilt, life cycle cost should be a part of the analysis. It's a simple concept. It's hard to deliver, thinking about the long-term asset as opposed to just the initial cost of the facility. And we must prioritize ongoing maintenance and operations. Finally, we have to agree on how to prioritize and fund strategic new investments in infrastructure that position our nation for the future. You know, there's no silver bullet to fixing our infrastructure. A lot of people think there is one. There isn't one. But make no mistake, unless we address the backlog of projects and deferred maintenance throughout the country over all infrastructure sectors, the result of each American family will be the loss of $3,100 per year disposable. So the time to act is now. This is the time. Our roads, bridges, water systems, wastewater systems, electric grid, and other infrastructure systems are the foundations that connect our businesses, our communities, and our people. They drive our economy. They improve our quality of life. For the U.S. economy to be the most competitive in the world, we need a world-class infrastructure system. Let me encourage you to visit our website, which is infrastructurereportcard.org, to learn more about specific information in South Carolina, as well as the national view. Out on the table, you may have seen that, we have copies of the report card. We also have a copy of our economic study, The Failure to Act, what it will cost us if we fail to make this investment in our infrastructure. And we have some members from the South Carolina ASCE section here today with us as well. We hope to continue to work with you as you work on infrastructure. But finally, let me thank you for being here today, for taking the time and taking the interest to have this conversation about the importance of infrastructure. Thank you very much.